many sacred ground where the stories of the Bible come to life. For others, a land of conflict and unrest where Israelis and Palestinians struggle to live in peace. Come with your News Team 3 as we journey through Israel, the land of God.
Hello, I'm Phil Scoggins, along with Brent Tanamachi. We're standing on the Mount of Olives just across from the old city of Jerusalem, the Garden of Gethsemane just below us. Places that, Brent, a lot of us have only dreamed that one day we might be able to see, and we've been fortunate enough to be able to come on this tour of the Holy Land, and we want to take you there and take you to the places that we've been fortunate enough to be able to see and videotape with our cameras and bring it home to you.
Most definitely. We will try to attempt to distinguish between tradition and history for the Muslims, the Jews, and the Christians, dating back from the times of Abraham to the times of now. So again, we're going to take you on an amazing trip.
And we've got a lot more to come in this program. We'll be taking you not only to the city of Jerusalem, directly across from us, but to places like Tiberias. We'll see the Sea of Galilee. We'll go over to Haifa and Tel Aviv, a number of other locations, so stay with us. The Holy Land, where the Bible comes to life, will return in just a moment. We now return to the Holy Land, where the Bible comes to life. Jerusalem, a city that has endured the millennia. Destroyed and rebuilt 39 times in 40 centuries, it was established 4,000 years ago. King David conquered it 3,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago, Jesus of Nazareth walked the city streets.
Now, on the brink of a new millennium, Jerusalem is preparing for another invasion, an invasion of tourists. Some 4 million are expected to make the pilgrimage to Israel during the year 2000. And the country is feverishly trying to complete improvements, including new hotels and roadways, to handle the rush of millennium visitors. Debbie Lipson is the Director of Public Relations for the Tower of David Museum in Jerusalem.
People who come from a Christian background may well know very much about what Jerusalem was like at the time of Jesus, but they're probably much less aware that history carried on after that. And I think one of the beautiful things about Jerusalem's history, and it's very nice to tell this to people, is history began over 4,000 years ago, and it hasn't stopped since.
To understand Jerusalem, you not only have to know its history, you also have to get to know its people. Here you will find a tapestry of cultures, religions, and traditions that are uniquely Jerusalem. 70% of the faces you pass are Jewish. 27% of the population is Muslim, the remainder Christians. And each faith celebrates the Sabbath on a different day. For Muslims, it's Friday. Jews observe Shabbat on Saturday. Sunday is the Christian Sabbath. Hebrew, the language of the Old Testament, is most commonly heard on the streets of Jerusalem, along with Arabic. English is taught as a compulsory subject in school in Israel. Along the corridors of Jerusalem, you are also likely to hear German, Russian, and Yiddish, among many others.
Jerusalem today is home to over 600,000 people. One of the most striking impressions as you drive around the city is the uniform architecture. Buildings of bleached limestone line the horizon, which is not by accident. The government requires that all buildings conform to a uniform look. Many of the jewels Jerusalem has to offer tourists are strategically located inside the walls of the old city. Here most people travel on foot, although it's not unusual to see donkeys laden with pita bread on occasion. The old city is divided into 4 quadrants: the Jewish quarter, the Christian quarter, the Armenian quarter, and the Muslim quarter. Many of the holy sites in the old city are connected with narrow stone walkways. And along the way, there are many opportunities for tourists to shop, and shop, and shop. Whether you're searching for souvenirs or something to eat, you don't have to look very far. Nor do you have to look very far to behold the religious wonders within the old city walls. Places like the Temple Mount, the Dome of the Rock, the Western Wall, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and the Via Dolorosa.
Winding through the heart of the old city is where you will find the Via Dolorosa, or the Way of the Cross. It's the path many believe Jesus took as he made his way to the crucifixion. A processional led by priests retraces the 14 stations of the cross every Friday afternoon. Each station marks the place where it is believed specific events transpired along Jesus' journey.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
It was at the third station where Jesus is said to have stumbled for the first time under the load of the cross. The sixth station is where Veronica is believed to have wiped the sweat from Jesus' face.
The eighth station. Here Jesus meets the holy women of Jerusalem. A great crowd of people followed him, including women who beat themselves and lamented over him. Jesus turned to them and said, "Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me. Weep for yourselves and for your children."
Nowhere do the shoulders of Christianity and Islam rub more closely than in the narrow alleyways along the Via Dolorosa. Here you see Christians retracing the steps of Christ, while coming in the opposite direction are Muslims making their way from prayer time at a nearby mosque.
The path of the Via Dolorosa culminates deep within the Christian quarter at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, one of the most sacred places visited by Christians. Tourists crowd the church's courtyard to retrace the final steps of Jesus. It is believed that Jesus was crucified and buried within the ancient walls of the church. Tradition has it that the Church of the Holy Sepulchre was a garden during the time of Jesus. But for some Christians, the garden described in the Bible was not here, but in an ancient rock quarry. The peaceful garden tomb sits just on the outskirts of the current city walls.
Kami percaya Yesus engkau tidak mati lagi. Yesus hidup sampai selama-lamanya. Yesus sudah menang.
Some Christians visit the tranquil place to meditate and worship because it looks and feels more like the place where Jesus was crucified and buried. There has been a lingering controversy over the actual site. Is it the Church of the Holy Sepulchre or the Garden Tomb?
No, we don't get caught up in any form of controversy with our brothers at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Maybe they're right.
Many Christians gravitate to this garden because
They find the impact of the open-air site, a garden environment, the visual aid of a tomb that certainly must be very like the actual tomb, if not the real place. This is the thing that touches their heart.
One time I saw an Armenian Orthodox priest who worked in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre praying at the garden tomb. So I came up to him with the old line, "What's a nice Armenian like you doing in a place like this?" I'll never forget his answer, because I think it reflects that of most Christians. He said, "Dr. Fleming, we at the Holy Sepulchre might have the right place, but for me, this is a nicer place to remember."
actual location of Jesus' tomb is of less importance than the spiritual significance. The Christian faith is based on the fact that he rose from the dead and the tomb is empty.
The Holy Land